Hey everybody, this is Kodak here, and today we are going to be taking a look at some Metazoo. Yes, I am aware that they have introduced a reserved list. It was certainly not a decision they consulted me on. If you want to know more about reserved list, what it is, and why it's generally a bad idea, take a look at sin number 1 about set rotation. That should have all of the answers in there. But today, we're going to be taking a look at Metazoo Wilderness. Now, Metazoo is a game that has so far been about cryptids, which are like modern day mythological creatures. They have 3 sets so far. This is the newest one that just came out, Metazoo Wilderness. The first one was Cryptid Nation, which is like, a basic starter set. Then they had Nightfall, which is all about, the creepy things that stalk in the dark. And now we have the Wilderness, which when you think about cryptids, you think about the dark and, scary times, but you also think about, like the untamed wilds where these creatures might be living. So that is the theme they are going for here. Although I swear I've seen this design somewhere in like a Dungeons and Dragon book. But anyway, today this is actually not a booster box. It kind of looks like a booster box, and in fact this is packaging that's common for booster boxes, but this is actually a 10 booster pack spell book. And what this thing is it is the equivalent from Metazoo for what is called a fat pack. It basically is the Metazoo fat pack. Now a fat pack, which you might also know as an elite trainer box in the case of Pokemon, is a special box, a special set that is generally the priciest thing sold in stores that are not like game dedicated stores. These are places like Target, Walmart, those kinds of places. It's usually the fanciest thing they sell there. It tends to contain a decent handful of booster packs. I also sometimes refer to these as half boxes because they frequently contain about half as many as a normal box would. But what they do is they are supposed to be like your second major purchase after you get into your game. Like the first purchase is like the starter set where you try out the game, you decide you like it. Then the fat pack is your second stop because it contains a few boosters, which is nice, but it importantly contains a lot of supplies that allow you to get into the game effectively. Like the Elite Trainer box here, it includes some booster packs, yes, but it also comes with some nice dice and some tokens. It comes with some sleeves. It comes with a full assortment of resource cards. And at the end, the box that it ships in converts into a nice bit of card storage. Can't say the same about this. This is just, a smaller size booster box. That's the one spot they're kind of short on here. Pokemon, of course, has their Elite Trainer boxes. Magic has their fat packs. And Yu-Gi-Oh! At one point put out something that kind of resembled a fat pack if you squinted funny. But today we are going to be assessing how effective the contents of the Metazoo fat pack is at fulfilling its role as a fat pack. So yeah, if you're designing products, that's the Elite Trainer box is basically like what you want to do for to try to appeal to people's secondary purchase. So I have already opened this one. Yes, that was mostly to check the contents inside. I haven't opened any of the packs, and I actually haven't taken a look at the cards that are in Wilderness, so it's going to be a surprise to me as much as it is to you. So on the inside here, we have a playmat. This is a new thing. I think it started with the second edition decks, but the original spell books originally just contained a map, and this is a regular old Cryptid Nation map using some new artwork. We have our various zones here. They actually have a separate one for cards removed from the game, which is certainly an interesting take. We have the spell book here, but up here we have the tarot cards. There are allowed to be 6 tarot cards at once, and as you go on, the oldest tarot card gets rotated out if you play more than 6. That's unlikely. Most decks can make it with 1 or 2, so you don't need too much of that. It's nice to have a playmat. That's good for helping people to learn how to play the game. We, of course, have our requisite coin. In this case, it is it's some of that art from the playmat there in coin form. I don't know how many cards actually use a coin flip in this game, but coins are just generally useful things. They can be used as tokens. They can be used as reminders. They're just handy little things I know the Naruto game had the Ninja Blade coin, which was used for a lot of things. We have our promo, which is not as good as the Cryptid Nation one. The Wilderness one is, if the next page you contract from your chapter this turn is a page from the Metazoo Wilderness set, it costs 3 less aura to contract, which sounds good, but then you remember it costs 2 to play, which I assume, I'd have to guess that the aura can be any color. I'd say it costs 3 less aura to contract. I'd probably change that to I'd probably say that too. I'd probably make this say this card counts as any 3 aura for the purpose of playing if the next card you play is a Wilderness card, this card grants you 3 aura or whatever. Something that words it a bit better so that it's not vague, because, you know, if you talk like Magic the Gathering terms, a card like this would be interpreted to be colorless, which would not be that great. It's basically flash. Moving on, we have an aura set. So this is something I bugged them about for a while. The most difficult thing on getting into Metazoo early on was simply having enough aura in order to play. Speaking of which, the art set seems to be finally in print that I worked on. I know it took like a year to happen, but I drew a card in that set. And yeah, these are different from the ones I had before. I drew a card for that aura set. But yeah, this gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like it's going to be, if this is 5 copies of each, then this will be 5 copies of each. So it looks like we get 10 of each aura, which is certainly nice. That's enough to build your pretty typical deck out of, especially if you are also augmenting it with like some artifacts and stuff. So yeah, that's a pretty good amount there. We get a set of sleeves. I remember the sleeves in the original set were kind of a joke. These feel like they might be Ultra Pros, actually. I think that's well, I don't see a notation on there, but they kind of remind me of the, oh yeah, these are a lot nicer than the previous ones. They feel more in line with what you'd expect from these kinds of sleeves. They're slightly loose fit, but that's what you want from sleeves like this. I've had trouble interacting with perfect fits. They have a nasty habit of binding too tightly to the cards and bending them. We have a rule book with the hastily added Wilderness added to the front, although I think this character here is one that hasn't been out until the Wilderness set, so he's been on all the rule books, but we haven't actually seen him before. We have our packs, which have a bit of a foil effect to them. We have a I'm not terribly familiar with a lot of these. Well, I know who this guy is. That's Bigfoot, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we are going to be opening those in a bit. And we have the new form of the status ailments. That was another thing. They do like to change these card borders a lot. Oh, that kind of fell out pretty quickly. They've changed the icons, I noticed. I wonder if there was a problem with the icons they were using, but it is nice that the burn, shock, and freeze looks have been given more distinct appearances. Originally, it was just like the hand with like a tiny, barely tellable bit from the side there. I would probably make sure that the cards themselves also use the keyword in reference to these. They're single-sided, but they do, the idea is I believe that they're large enough that you're supposed to plunk a die on there to tell you how many turns remain of the status effect. There's no damage counters in there. I guess they're leaving those up to the decks, which I haven't really gotten a chance to open, but still it is nice to have access to some more of these counters. They're different from the ones I previously had. So yeah, we did get a topper in this. That's also something you tend to get in these, well, fat packs tend to be up in the air about whether or not they include a topper the way tins tend to include toppers. And then we, of course, have our boosters. So, as I said, I've never actually looked at the cards in this set, so we're going to see if we get anything interesting out of these packs. The packs do feel different from the original ones. They still have that still strong kind of foil feel. They don't feel necessarily like the stretchy plastic you're used to. But let's have a look. We have Alien Intelligence. Look at the top 4 pages of your spellbook. Place those on top of your deck in any order. That's pretty good. That's a bit of deck control. We don't see much in this game. Hiding in the thickets. Beasties with forest terrain bonus cannot be targeted for attacks until the end of your next turn. That's not bad if you want to preserve some of your forest beasties. Mad Gasser of Mattoon. This beastie deals plus 10 damage if you heard someone pass gas this game. Nah. Suffocate, inflict target beastie with paralysis by the look of it. Gas attack, burn 3 for 20. If this attack damaged a caster, deal 30 damage to that caster. We have Ohio Grassman. I lived in Ohio for a while. Tribal boost, beastie Sasquatch. Okay. You can only contract this page if a blade of grass is in the arena. You are allowed to use props. You are not allowed to use digital facsimiles, but you are allowed to use props to generate the same effect. El Verde Entity of El Verde Puerto Rico. Oh, we got a Puerto Riqueño monster here. So, contract. You may return any number of non-token alien beasties you control to its owner's chapter. This turn, the next alien beastie you contract costs 1 less aura for each beastie returned with this effect. Hey, that's... It costs 4 to put into play, but if you combine that with a lot of the sort of glass cannons there, it allows you to scoop up all of those aliens. So, allows you to scoop up those aliens, so if they've taken damage or if they're in trouble, although aliens tend to be glass cannons, so you have to do with that as you will. We have Sudden Camouflage. You may contract this page at any time. Target beastie, fish, or dinosaur has, I believe that is, cannot be target. I believe that's, is that invisibility? They keep changing the icons, and that's kind of annoying. Ozark Howler. This page costs 3 dark aura to contract if you howl like a wolf. Some of these are still kind of pretty silly. I know the World of Warcraft game put out the Leroy Jenkins card with that effect as a joke. Oh, there he is! There's the boy! Cumberland Dragon. Once per game, an opposing caster may nullify an attack from this beastie by giving you a flower. Target another beastie whenever an opposing caster targets that beastie next turn. This beastie becomes targeted instead of, even if this beastie is not a legal target. Dragon Fire Beam, burn 3. This might go into my my current deck. It's got flight. It's got life point bonus. Hey, so I got the boy. Look at that. I got one of the special cards. Look at that. One of the I didn't pull it from a Cumberland Dragon pack, but hey, not bad for first pack luck. Token Sitter. This page costs no aura to contract if you have adopted a pet. Once per turn, spend X aura, create a pet token, where X is 5 times the aura you spent. Awaken this artifact. Each caster you may use their powers on this turn. So this is our rare here. We have the skeleton token. I keep saying if you're making tokens based on specific entities, you can put the stats on them. We have River, and we have Cosmic Aura, which is like the one I got from the box. Okay, so far so good. So there he is. I got Cumberland Dragon in our first pack. So this is pretty good so far. So can't really say I have complaints about this box since I already got something good. When God touched Cumberland Spaceman. Are they friends? Gotta wonder, are they friends? If there's a camera within eyesight, this beastie gains, I believe that is flash. Is that haste? Arena. If this beastie is directly behind a terror you control, it gains. Man, they keep changing these icons. I don't recognize a lot of these icons. Although a camera within eyesight, that's a cell phone. So all right. Hiding in plain sight. Jeering Rocks. Awaken a target opposing beastie. That beastie must declare an attack against an earth beastie you control of your choice. That's a good way to get rid of something like Wapaloosie or something, or like an annoying token. Shock Burn. You may contract this page at any time. Inflict target beastie with burn. If the roll for burn was a 1 or a 2, you may automatically inflict that beastie with... I believe that's you roll a die for the number of burn. EMP. Fatigue all artifacts in the arena. Artifacts cannot awaken until the end of turn. Wow, this is going to be annoying. This is like a card that like hard counters the decks that rely on using all those artifacts to generate their aura. That's a hard counter to that. Wildfire, and there's the Burning Man. They've basically reused his image there. Contract the spell as if it were a Terra page. Treat the spell as a basic Forest Terra. It goes to the afterlife when destroyed. Each caster loses 20 life points at the end of each turn while the spell is in the arena. I assume there's like a Smokey the Bear card that hard counters this. Hugag. You can only contract this page if you can touch your toes without bending your legs. I can. Although I don't know if you're really getting bent. Oh, it does plus 75 damage. So it does 125 damage if you have a forest in play. You may activate this power at the same time you contract a beastie. That beastie enters play awakened. Wow, that's actually kind of good. Okay. Pascagoula River Aliens from Pascagoula. I'm not sure. I'm going to try both. If River is active, this beastie's attacks deal plus 20 damage to River pages. And we have Big Bird. Big Bird. This beastie costs 5 to contract if you own a bird. Contract, destroy another target beastie with flying. Okay, so that's something that'll... This is like a counter to like Snallygaster or Quetzalcoatlus, that's not bad if you have to own a bird, though. Although they say a facsimile counts. They don't say it's a living bird or a real bird, so you could bring in a little fake bird. You could bring in one of those little bird whistling toys. That would probably count. And then we have schmooze tokens. Oh no, not schmooze. Quiet time, nighttime. So there we go. We have special Terra. This is another thing. This is actually something that I suggested for them. If there's a basic night Terra in the arena, ignore the effects of all other special Terra in the arena other than quiet night. So that's neat. So we have some. So they've included special Terra cards. I wonder if they're going to have cards like Christmas Time in the City or like Haunted Hayride or things like that that really adopt the Americana of it all. All right, so some interesting things here. So let's open our Cumberland Dragon pack. Wouldn't it be hilarious if we got a second one? Oh, you haven't pulled the other creatures, the unicorn or the who's it, what's it, duck thing. Anti-potion potion. You may contract this page at any time. You cannot put this page into a spellbook with other potions not named anti-potion potion. Do not resolve opposing potions. Oh, you can have 10 per spellbook. Lightning strikes twice. Target beastie is dealt 10 damage and is inflicted with lightning. If this is the second spell you contracted this turn, it does 40 damage instead. Peninsula Python. This page costs no aura to contract if it is Peninsula Python Day. Maybe list what Peninsula Python Day is on there, unless it's something like Easter where it changes every year. Shock Burn. Aurora Borealis. There's no special effect for if there's if Aurora Borealis is happening in this time of year at this time of day, located entirely within your kitchen. You'd think they'd have an ability for that. If this spell is placed on a on a starry Terra, that Terra cannot be targeted by opposing casters. Terra bonuses for the Terra the spell is placed on are increased by 10. That's pretty good. A lot of I'm glad to see that there's like some more like Terra manipulation in this set. That's kind of something I hope something that we kind of needed. General Skunkape. Yes. Yes, Salmon Max, it is I, General Skunkape, and I have come to take the toy box. If you are wearing black and white colors, this beastie deals plus 10 damage. It's 3 for what can be up to 70 by the look of it. Target beastie is inflicted with poison. That beastie cannot declare attacks against beastie Sasquatches next turn. So they're kind of building like a Sasquatch archetype. It used to be like just Bigfoot for a while. Heat Wave. Oi, oi, this is my island in the sun. The page costs 2 fire aura to contract if Desert is active. Destroy a snow Terra if able. Fatigue all opposing beasties. All casters lose 100 LP. So this is like Phoenix Fire, but crazy. That's awesome. The Frozen Spirit Sigil. So we have an artifact that costs 3. If Fog is active, beasties with Reaper cannot be affected by status effects. If that's Snow is active, whenever an ice counter is removed from a beastie, that beastie loses 10 LP. If both are active, place destroyed beasties into the afterlife, as opposed to the cemetery. A lot of effects activate from the cemetery, but I believe ghosts do a lot from the afterlife. We have Big Bird. Hornet token. Nasty. Stunning Storm, Lightning Storm. If a basic Storm Terra is in the arena, inflict paralysis to the first beastie that enters the arena each turn. This effect does not stack. I guess that affects both. Interesting. So we have our Bigfoot pack here. I'm liking how they're playing around with Terra a bit more. I wonder if they're going to have like double Terra or anything like that. Camouflage token. Target beastie has Invisible. Frost Elemental. Create a Snowflake token. You may destroy this artifact at any time to generate 1 aura. Okay. So it works kind of like the Fire Elemental card. Mad. Save the Holy. Oh, it's rescuing Squonk, even though the guy has no head. Place target beastie you control on the bottom of its owner's spellbook. Alright, that has some useful implications. Terrify. Reveal a beastie from your chapter with 3 or higher aura cost. If you do, you may place target non-dark beastie with 1 or less aura cost on top of its owner's spellbook. Your chapter is your hand. I keep making that mistake. I wish they would just call it your hand. Oh, I got 2 copies of the Mad Gasser in 1 pack. Aren't I lucky? Got Rocky the Fish. This beastie takes 10 less damage from combat. If this beastie's attacks damage a beastie with 3 or less aura cost, you may automatically destroy it. Then the caster who owned that beastie bookmarks 1. All right, that has some use to it. It looks like it has effects in River and Full Moon. Snowflake token. Open Waters. The first trap each caster flips each term costs 1 less aura to contract. That's neat. So yeah, I'm liking how they're really pushing the potential of Terra. It already has some effects, but now you can have like Terra that's worth building around. Do more strategies and things like that. I don't know how many traps water actually has. Beaver Shark. Flipped end combat. So it's a trap. So this is one that would basically play for free. 5 per spellbook when combined with Open Ocean. Wow, okay. That means that it basically ends combat for free, and you can destroy target wood Terra page, target forest Terra page in the arena. Oh yeah, this is if they have sideboards, this is definitely something to side against forest decks. That's pretty nice. Lizard People. Search your spellbook for a beastie alien and place it into your chapter. Oh, that's pretty good. You can use that to ferret out things like Flatwood Monster, which has some good effects. There's another one that allows it to redirect attacks. This is going to be a staple for Reptile. Any kind of deck search, it tends to become a staple for whatever it's in. Jeering Rock, Spook Light. When this page is placed in the afterlife, you may have target beastie lose 20 LP. That's handy, although it has to be beasties, though. I wish you could also target artifacts. El Verde, Wildfire, Mind Probe. Target opposing caster reveals their hand, then separates their hand into 2 piles. That caster chooses a pile to place into the cemetery. If the opposing caster selected a pile with more pages than the other pile, deal 100 damage to that caster. Wow, this is... I guess the fact that you have to put it into the afterlife means that you can't pull it out again. But yeah, that's brutal. That's going to be a brutal card. Rose Robinson. Oh, that's the girl from the playmat. Contract. Look at the top 2 pages of your spellbook. You may switch the order of those pages. That has some use. Reveal the top page of your spellbook. If the revealed page is a beastie, place that page into your chapter. So that has some uses. The ability to go 1-up on your hand is pretty nice. We have Living Earth Sigil. If Force is active, this artifact has... What is that? I'm not sure what that is. Artifact Sigil. If Swamp is active, this artifact has Toughness. If both are active, you may fatigue this artifact to have all non-token beasties you control gain 10 LP and 10 damage. Oh, that's cool. Is that healing or is that like a permanent buff? Pet token, Whiteout. If a basic Snow Terra is in the arena at the start of their turn, this active caster may have target beastie gain invisibility. Oh, wow. Although that has the potential to benefit your opponent, so be careful. I'm liking this, though. The Terra are genuinely becoming like field effect spells with more interest, more counterplay. Bloodstained. Equip this aura to target... This is in revenge for me saying they need to cut back on the blood, isn't it? Equip this spell to target Dark Beastie with 3 or less aura cost. Equipped Beastie is considered a Beastie Bloodsucker. Equipped Beastie has Vampire while Full Moon is active. Carnal Edge. Oh, that's the Oklahoma Octopus. You may contract this page at any time. Target fish or beastie has, I believe, Defender until the end of turn. Shatter Ice. Destroy target beastie inflicted with 3 or more ice counters on it. So this is like a shoo-in for Jack Frost. Like, this is what cards of like are meant to combo with Jack Frost, is to just to let you break them. Mind Probe. The Black Dog. Contract. Target beastie may not be declared as a defender this turn. And it's a rare, so we got Haunted Tundra. You may fatigue this artifact at any time to generate 1 ice and 1 ghost and 1 ice. I guess the idea is they're switching away from the ones that deal 2 of 1 aura type to make the mixed up aura type so that they're a bit harder to use. Because yeah, the ones that generate 1 aura type were pretty broken. Still, they're still powerful. Tiny Island. Island. Each caster may only control up to 5 beasties in the arena. If a caster controls 6 or more, the caster must destroy a beastie they control. Neat. So we have the what is it? The card that restricts on the Zing Zen Hu. Although based on this thing here, maybe it's the Island of Monsters where Godzilla lives with his son or something like that. Bloodstains. Idaho Potatoes. Those are cryptids? Oh no, we're doomed. You may only contract this page if you are eating a potato-based snack. No! 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 No potato chips at card games. They make everything greasy and awful and gross. Flipped. Destroy target 1 aura cost opposing beastie. Destroyed effects from the beastie do not resolve. Please no. I do not want to have French fries and potato chips at my table. Rubberado. Is it some kind of, is it a relative of Gumbaroo? Place target beastie into its owner's chapter. Place this beastie on top of your spellbook. It definitely is. Let me see. Shovel. Equip this artifact to target beastie. Equip beastie gains +10 attack damage and can attack burrowed beasties. If the primary, so this is like a lot of earth creatures have a burrowed effects, and I guess this allows them to. This is like another side card maybe. EMP Spirit Veil. Oh, the Spirit Train on Spirit Veil. You can only contract this page when an opposing caster contracts a spell. After that spell resolved, if 2 or more ghost beasties you control were destroyed by the effect of that spell, place those beasties into the arena fatigued. You may destroy an opposing beastie for each ghost beastie returned this way. So this would be for cards that like deal damage to everything. A counter to that seems like another like side card. Restricting roots. Target beastie does not awaken at the start of its next turn. If that beastie is a water, it loses its traits, terra bonuses, and effect text box except for attacks until the end of the next turn. Yeah, that's not bad. Haunted Tundra, only this time we have it in lovely, lovely foil. Ugh, Petrified Wood. Oh, and Petrified Wood is another one. So the mix-up types, I think, are probably going to be more interesting for gameplay. Stunning Storm. We're getting a lot of the mix-up Terra here. I wonder if they have a forest one. I saw Forest Fire, but that's a spell, not a... I mean, a spell that would probably work in my deck, honestly. Look at the top 4 pages of your spellbook. Place those pages on top of your spellbook in any order. We already saw that one. Light Ward. Target beastie cannot declare an attack as long as this page is in the arena. Okay, that's cool. So it's like a little buffer there. Primordial Ooze. Equip this page to target beastie without a Primordial Ooze. Equipped beastie has ×2, 2 separate something traits. Huh. I keep forgetting what that is. I don't know if that's detach or something like that. White Screamer. That's looks like a what is it? Invasion of the Body Snatchers reference. You may only contract this page if you scream as quietly as you can. Okay, that's better than howling like a wolf at least. Weeping Angel. Oh no. Contract. Target opposing caster cannot use powers until the end of the next turn. This beastie can attack pages with what is that? I don't know if that's ethereal maybe. Although it's a light type character by the look of it, yeah. Phantom Car. You may activate this power at any time during combat. Flip a coin if heads end combat. Oh wow, this is going to make Quetzalcoatlus decks even just completely unbearable, isn't it? Peninsula Python Hollow, Black Dog, Hornet Token, Open Waters. 2 more. We've gotten a couple of interesting ones. We got the new character. We got the Cumberland Dragon. Let's see if we can round it out with something nice. Bloodstained Dublin Lake Monster. Kind of posed like Onyx from... I can't remember which version of Onyx looked like this. Contract. Bookmark 1. Place a page from your chapter to the bottom of your spellbook. So it cycles 1. End combat after this attack resolves. Okay. Primordial Ooze. Spring Heel Jack, of all things. Wow, from Brooklyn. This beastie's attacks deal +10 damage if you are wearing high heels. Oh no. Pounce to Ash. This attack does +20 damage if the original target had no defenders declared. We have Janet and Rosetta Vandervoort. Place this beastie into the afterlife. Inflict all opposing beasties with Chill 2. Figure 8. If the opposing character declared any defenders, you may deal 30 damage to the original target. Oh. Wow, okay. Save the Holy. The Great Earthquake. You may contract this page from your cemetery, limbo, or afterlife. Destroy all Earth aura pages you control. For each one destroyed, target caster is dealt 25 damage. Oh, okay. So this is like, what is it? Spell Blast, whatever it is. Big Bird Foil. I got a lot of Big Birds. Midnight Lake Sigil. If Full Moon is active, target caster places a page of their choice from their chapter into their limbo. If Fog is active, bookmark 1. You may fatigue this artifact to destroy it, and then each caster destroys a beastie they control. Shmooze Token and Dusk. And Light Aura. Our final card, we have this duck thingy. I'm not even sure what it is. TBH. And we have Alien Intelligence. Glastonbury Glaucus. You may choose a face-down trap. That trap does not flip up this turn. This beastie can only target beasties when declaring attacks if they are damaged. Oh, okay. Toxic Water. Target beastie loses all of its traits until the end of turn. If the beastie was burrowed, unburrow it. EMP, Spirit Veil, Mind Probe, Explosive Rabbit. Oh, hey, Easter's coming up, isn't it? Only 5 LP. This beastie has plus 10 damage on its attacks if it's the month of July. Destroyed if this beastie was destroyed when it was not your turn. Target beastie, artifact, or caster is dealt 10 damage and is inflicted with burn. Not bad. It does a little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there. It's not really much. I think some of these have some interesting effect. I got 3 of these, and they're limit 2, so... Nest token, ground with the Tripadero on it. And there we go. Okay, so got a couple interesting cards there. Got Rose Robinson and the Cumberland Dragon in there, so not entirely lost. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention. This was actually sent to me by the folks who make Metazoo. That's how I've been getting all of my Metazoo stuff, is they've been sending it to me. So this was sent to me for the purpose of review. That was kind of fun. We will have to see where Metazoo goes from here. Like I said, the fan art set is currently being printed. It is getting ready to be shipped out and on its way, and I will give instructions on how you might be able to get some autographs from me if you want to do that in the near future. My P.O. box that I had from before is still active, so if you want to send me anything, really. I do say the next logical step here is probably to improve the box and instead ship these with something that can handle storage. I think that is the next logical step in order to make this thing like truly the fat pack it deserves to be. So yeah, that is a brief look at Metazoo Wilderness, and until next time, this is Kodak signing off.